57, and the Senate will be in a brief recess. Senate will be in order. The chair recognizes the senator from Middlesex and Worcester, Mr. Eldridge.
Thank you, Mr. President. And I want to say that as someone who's been in this body now for 5 months, it's an extreme honor to work with everybody, to serve with everybody. I have deep roots in the Senate, having worked for the senator previous to Senator Reeser, Robert Durand, who first introduced me to politics and the value of public service. And I had a very close relationship and someone who was my mentor, the gentlewoman from Acton, Pamela Reeser. I have the highest respect for your honesty and integrity, for our ability to work together to solve common problems and move Massachusetts forward. This has been a difficult session so far. The fiscal crisis affecting the whole country, including Massachusetts, public confidence in state government at a low, challenges that are facing us, which are enormous. Over the past few months, we have grappled with reforms, improving the way government operates, repairing our relationship with the general public, and restoring confidence that has been lost. Today, I believe we are taking up the most important reform the Senate is working on this session. And I want to thank the Senate President and her staff for her assistance in some of my ideas that are included in this bill. I want to thank the leader, the gentleman from Peabody, for his assistance. I want to thank the gentleman from Milton for his advice and his leadership in working on this bill for the past couple months and for today. And I want to thank the gentleman from Pittsfield for his work serving on the Public Integrity Commission. We have a perception problem here on Beacon Hill. Too often, things operate in ways that seem less than transparent. Campaign finance is often set up to protect insiders, and there are too many lobbying loopholes in our system. And often, our ethics laws lack teeth and specificity. Some of the scandals that have happened over the past 2 years have deeply harmed public perception. And as a result, the public support for the good work we are doing is often diminished. Our work to improve public education, expand access to health care, and better protect the environment. The public demands reform, and they deserve it. I am proud to support the important reform measures found in this bill, eliminating lobbyist contributions to candidates or elected officials. Madam President, this is truly putting reform before revenue. This is a provision I pressed very hard for, including reform of campaign finance, demonstrating to the public that our votes are won only by persuasive arguments and grassroots organizing and not donations. We've increased public disclosure in the reporting of lobbying activities and campaign donations, including applying our campaign finance regulations to municipal officials. And we have increased the penalties, as the gentleman from Milton has aptly described, that go well beyond a mere slap on the wrist. Campaign finance reform and government transparency, as many of you probably know, has been a passion of mine even before I assumed elective office. And I believe this legislation is at the heart of what it means to be a Democrat. A belief in the importance of ethical, accountable, transparent government, government that inspires public support of government work, and public confidence that government has a role to play in our lives. Without this transparency and accountability, the power goes to those with knowledge and connections, or the money to buy both. Special interests consolidate power, and average citizens lose out. This bill improves transparency and accountability about restoring power to the average person and ensuring that government is acting in the best interest of the people and not for the special interests. In doing so, we are better able to make our case to the public on the legislation we file to help our constituents. for the government program services we care deeply about. And passing this bill is an important step in demonstrating to the public that we are serious about reform, that we are serious about transparency and accountability, and that we desire to hold ourselves to the highest standards of ethics and accountability. I am proud to vote for this bill and urge you to join me in voting to do so. But also, I want to comment on the amendment that I filed and was recently changed, and want to express my support for the gentleman from Arlington for his ideas in making this amendment a better amendment. And what this amendment does is it restores some of the power to the Ethics Commission, which I think is important, because if we move some of these investigatory powers, if we move some of these appeals processes to another entity, it's my opinion that not only does it cloud transparency, but it actually could affect us all by an administrative body that is not an expert in ethics law. The Ethics Commission has that expertise. It's important to give them the power and tools to do that. And we have many other entities that play the same role in our Commonwealth. The Office of Campaign Political Finance, which, as the gentleman from Milton commented, judge, jury, and executioner, has those same powers. I think OCPF does a very good job. In our municipalities, our planning boards, our zoning boards of appeals, our boards of public health investigate matters, have hearings, and make decisions. And without those powers, not only could there be a delay on ending that transparency, but there also could be a delay for all of us in getting the answers so we can move on with our careers and continue the good work that we're doing. So I want to thank the gentleman from Arlington for his ideas and his further amendment. I want to also add that many of the other pieces of the amendment I filed have already been changed due to friendly amendments that have already appeared before us on tolling when there's an investigation by the Ethics Commission and the Attorney General's office, on statute of limitations, and on making sure that if a whistleblower goes to the Ethics Commission with a complaint, that they are going to be protected and action might not be taken against them by the subject of the investigation. So I want to thank this body for the work that they've done. I want to thank, again, the leader from Peabody for his work in crafting this bill, for including a strong campaign finance piece and a strong ethics piece to make this, in my opinion, the strongest bill of all the versions of ethics reform this body has seen. Thank you very much.
I would also like the Senator for all of his input and hard work on this bill also. And obviously this was his maiden speech.